Hey folks, Jay Barino here, continuing StarCraft Remastered. It's Zerg campaign time. This Hydralisk looks metal as hell. It's awesome. Alright, let's go. Zerg campaign Overmind. The swarms have crushed the meager human resistance and laid waste to 9 of the 13 Terran worlds. Shortly after the fall of the Terran capital world of Tarsonis, the main Protoss fleet abandoned the Terran sector. Oh, that poor zealot. Oh, they're being left behind. Now, efforts continue on Tarsonis to weed out the remaining Protoss forces. Among the ruins. Tarsonis.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Behold that I shall set you amongst the greatest of my Cerebrus, that you might benefit from their wisdom and experience. Yet your purpose is unique. While they carry forth my will to the innumerable broods, you have but one charge entrusted to your care. For I have found a creature that may yet become the greatest of my agents. Even now, it resides within a protective chrysalis, awaiting its rebirth into the swarm. You must watch over the chrysalis and ensure that no harm comes to the creature within it. Go now, and keep safe my prize.
The Overmind is so cool. He's so cool.
The Hatchery is the heart of any Zerg colony. It spontaneously generates larvae, which in turn are used to spawn your various warriors and minions. Now, create a drone and start gathering resources.
Overlord time.
Overlords provide control for your minions. As your forces grow in number, you must hatch more overlords to control them. You have enough minerals. Select a larva and mutate it into an overlord.
Spawn more overlords. Alright. I like the Cerebrate portraits looking good. Zooming in on the overlords is cool. You can...
New warrior strains. You must generate the various hive structures.
I know.
The drones themselves mutate into these structures. Yet be careful. Never use your last drone to make a building.
Okay, got a whole new playstyle here with Zerg. We'll just make a couple drones, and by a couple drones, I mean like a bunch of extra drones. I do have my pre-purchased Char Hatchery Lair Hive skin happening here. So it's got, I guess, some extra red squiggles on it. Is pretty much the main difference here. Like, there's lava erupting from it. Which has to be pretty frightening for the larva.
Order your drone to become a spawning pool.
Okay, okay.
You'll notice that structures can only implant themselves upon the creep.
Okay.
You can make creep colonies to extend the creep, but only a hatchery can be built upon ground minerals.
Thank you, Dagoth. It's just very much just the... It's just the tutorial, alright? We know how to play Zerg, I think. It feels like the Adjutant, the Overmind Adjutant, is particularly loud, like louder than the Terran Adjutant. I haven't changed any of the settings. I don't know. Also, for the longest time, I didn't realize that the drone portrait, that the eyes were the red circles. I don't know. There's so much about the original art style. It was kind of just hard to tell what was what with a lot of this stuff. So it's neat to revisit it and really have that detail show. I mean, I've known for a while now that the red circles were the eyes, but again, it's really hard to tell. It was hard to tell for me a while ago. Okay, there's our spawning pool. Nice. I like the look of the creep colonies too. Again, it's just a different look. It's got a different vibe to it, that's for sure, and it's a lot crisper. And it's not really the same style, but it's not the same style, but crisper.
I am Saz. I too am a Cerebrate of the Overmind. I have located a small band of Terrans who could threaten the chrysalis and the hive cluster. You must not allow them to leave here alive.
Alrighty, Zaz. So yeah, I don't see it as the same but crisper. I see it as definitely a different style, but also crisper than the original. It's it must be quite challenging to get that right. Okay, so think about what's inside this chrysalis. I won't say it explicitly, but for the people, the 95% of you watching this that know what's in here, I'm realizing now, how is it fitting inside of the young chrysalis? Think about that. Because I never have up until recently. That seems kind of bullshit. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, let's just make another Overlord now, because why not? We've got good income, and then I'm just going to start making Hydralisks like crazy. The Vespian icon, the little globule stands out to me as well. Okay, we can make some Sunken Colonies now. Just need a couple. Sunken Colonies, I think, are great. They have more HP than bunkers. I don't know what their base armor stat is, though. We'll find out. I'm not sure if it's better than bunkers or not, because bunkers don't have the tooltip to know. Someone out there probably knows. In fact, there's really nothing here for the Sunken Colonies either, but I assume buildings have like a base +1 armor or something. Who knows? Okay, let's grab Metabolic Boost, and then with our next batch of cash, how much is a Hydralisk Den? It's D. There we go. Okay, I actually don't know why I just made extra drones there. That was completely unnecessary. Let's just start making more and more Zerglings and then get another Overlord. There is an expansion you can take up at the top of the map, but it's entirely unnecessary. Every time you start a new campaign, the first map is typically pretty easy. I think the first UED map can be pretty hard, but every other of the 5 campaigns, the first map is relatively simple. I mean, the first Protoss map of the fall, not too bad. It can be, but it's not. All right, let's grab an Evo chamber as well. Anywhere. We'll grab these upgrades here pretty soon. I could probably afford to have a few more drones. It really does not hurt. And we'll get, I was just thinking I should get a creep colony. StarCraft 1's Zerglings are markedly better than StarCraft 2 Zerglings. It is pretty much doubtless. Creep also doesn't give you any bonuses except the fact that you needed to build on in StarCraft 1. Just a nice little tip for you. All right, you guys get on. Minerals, whoa. The evolution chamber is extremely distinct. I don't know what it is about the colors, but it just feels so much more so. I don't know what it is. I can't really point it out, but it's just feels so much different. I think it's the coloring. All right, let's grab... Now let's grab Carapace, because that affects all of our... That'll affect our Zerglings and our Hydralisks. Let's go ahead and grab Muscular Augments. And then... I'll get one more... Well, I'll get one more group of drones. And then get one Spore Colony, just in case. I don't think I'll need it. One Sunken Colony is also probably enough. And even making a Spore Colony is overboard and entirely unnecessary. Again, it's very much a just-in-case type situation. All right, let's go. Get mining. The issue with hatchery rally points is because your drones are built out of it too, your drones will never stay in place. Like with Terran, when I built SCVs, I just never set a rally point for my command centers unless I wanted a separate command center rallying farther away for a new resource gathering point, which was rare. Unfortunately, with Zerg, if you set a rally point for your combat units, your drones will also go, and there's no way to improve that in any way. This is nice. I'm just taking a look at all the portraits as our overlords. Wow, you can even see their weird long snouts when you zoom in close enough. Oh, that's cool. Just getting those little details that you otherwise didn't have. Zergling portraits look pretty nice as well. I'm excited to get some Hydralisk out here too. They're probably going to look great. All right, let's do it. We're not going to need too much to complete this. I think it was what Terran Mission 3 I pointed out. The Hydralisk Den butthole is no longer a circle. It's a weird triangle now. It's like a very distinct change. I don't know why, but there it is. Also, the Hydralisk Den is different now, where the back part of it is sort of like a like an awning, like a tent almost. Whereas before it looked like one large bulbous structure. Now it's just, again, it's just sort of like a tent with holes in it, which is... Now that I look at it, again, you don't really notice this until now when we have that detail, but there are holes in the back of the Hydralisk den, so I totally can see that now. Just little things like that. It's very cool, and you can dynamically see the creep underneath it. It's very, very interesting. There's our Hydralisks. My favorite unit from StarCraft 1, easily. Oh, they're great. The reason I hate Reavers so much is because they kill Hydralisks so easily. They kill my favorite units so fast. We'll make some more. We'll get grooved spines. I will queue up. It doesn't matter what I queue up, honestly. We don't need much more here to get this going. We'll just change our rally points. I don't typically even use unit hotkeys for a Zergling Hydralisk because they die so fast, and it's easy to lose track of all your units that I hotkey my hatcheries, and that's about it. I don't really see much of a reason to bother with much else. This is probably enough, and then we just rally up more Zerglings and change our rally points over here. Let's get them in there. If we start attacking these buildings, the rest of the Terrans will move up in this direction and be extremely upset with us. Just pointing out. Well, actually, no, they're not moving down here. Normally they do. I'm surprised. It must just be an AI setting. No, see, yeah, they move their units down here in response. They're upset with us. Okay, and as long as we're mostly just losing Zerglings, we need our Hydralisk alive because we've seen a couple Wraiths. Keep it up. Get going. I don't even know if there's a bunker in this base. We're pretty much on track to win here, no problem. Okay, and let's just rally these. There we go, and there's the Wraiths that we can kill quite quickly. More Zerglings. Overlords, fine. Yeah. Talk me into it, game. An Overlord announcer pack for StarCraft 2 would be so cool. Though I believe that, unfortunately, I may be wrong about this, but I believe that, unfortunately, the voice actor for both Zeratul and the Overmind, who was the same person, has passed away. Actually, I think it was some time ago. Again, I may be incorrect there. Please let me know if that's wrong, but otherwise I'm pretty certain that that is something that has happened, unfortunately. And I mean, it's just unfortunate that the person has passed away. It's not... I'm not saying it's unfortunate that we'll never get an Overmind announcer pack. You know, to a lesser degree, yes, but to a much more significant degree, you know, it's the fact that the man has passed away. That's unfortunate. Let me just be clear. I'm not one of those folks that... I think George R.R. Martin is a good example of this. I actually kind of feel bad for the man, where everybody puts a lot of pressure on him to complete this, and then there are these talks about like, oh well, he's older, he may pass away, and he's just like, I have a message for those people. Fuck you. Why are you constantly talking about my mortality just because of this piece of media that I provide for your entertainment? Really takes a dark turn. It really makes it take a dark turn when you look at it from that perspective. Like, this is a man's life, and you're just like, well, I want to be able to read a book, and like this guy, it's life or death. That's terrible. That's a terrible way to look upon it, in my opinion. Anyway, we finished. So a weird, morbid, dark turn we've taken for the first mission of the Zerg campaign. Anyway, when we come back, it's time for Vile Aggression. All right, see you then. Bye now.